Hi friends, how are you? Claudine here again. Sorry, I'm back down in my basement. The reason why is I'm actually going to be doing a blow dry tutorial today. So, where do you start? Sorry for the pause, little brain fart there. So obviously we're going to need a few tools. You're going to need a blow dryer. I always recommend professional dryers. Nothing wrong with like your Revlons or anything like that you can get at like Costco or Walmart or whatever. They're fine. They just don't have the quality of a professional. So I have an Amica blow dryer. So another few brands that make amazing blow dryers as well. Obviously Dyson. If you have the money and you want to invest on that level, they're phenomenal. So Amica makes, or Amica, sorry, depending on how you enunciate that. That's what I own. It's really a great blow dryer. Drybar also makes some really nice blow dryers. Babyliss, like there's tons of different professional tool companies. A lot of hair care companies have also gotten into making their own brand of styling, hot styling tools. That might include curling irons, flat irons, blow dryers, and etc. So the other thing you're going to need is 1 to 2 clips. Being that I've been a hairdresser for 20 something years, I prefer we call them alligator clips. I don't know if you call them something different, but to me this is an alligator clip. So I use one for my head, and then the other thing is I'm going to be using 2 different diameters of brushes. You can see this one's a little bit smaller, this is a bit bigger. I'm going to be using this to kind of blow dry my fringe. So we are going to be doing kind of like, well, I have some shorter pieces here in the front. I have a really bad cowlick along my entire front hairline. As you can see, it kind of just wants to go this way and to the left. So for me to create more of a curtain bang look, I have to blow dry my bangs quite flat. So my hair is going to be in my face for a minute, but I'm going to give you some instructions that in case, you know, if you have a cowlick or like just a really horribly directed front hairline, i.e. cowlick, what do you do to help to manage that? So you're going to turn your heat onto medium, because you're going to have the nozzle of your dryer kind of fairly close to your head and directing that air a little bit more closely. And then, but your wind power, so the flow of air coming through your dryer, you want it on high. Okay. Okay, so there's mine on medium. So what you can see that I'm doing is I'm literally taking my brush and I am just literally blowing downward, and then you're just going to kind of move to one side and the other. So you can see why you're turning the heat down, because I'm literally right against my head. If I were to have this at really high heat, it would really be burning my forehead right now and my scalp. Okay, so once you've done that, you are going to divide these so that you can see. There we go. So you can see how much flatter that's sitting at this point. Obviously, it looks ridiculous though in general. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that brush. You're going to get rid of some of this excess hair because you obviously don't want all of it in there. So I'm going to grab kind of like this fringe area. Make sure there's no knots in it. So first, and I know this seems contrary to what I've just done, but we are going to be just shaping the ends. Okay, so you can see that I'm like keeping still that root area close to my head, but I'm going backwards. But I've got the heat of my dryer on high at this point. Now we're going to go the other way and then back the other way. Now remember though, friends, that when we are blow drying backwards especially, we are keeping the hair kind of directly against the forehead. So you can see how that's sitting there quite nicely, cowlick. So I'm going to be pushing mine over just a little bit to kind of where my hair will naturally kind of part, which is about there. So you can see it's behaving a little bit better. And then you can see kind of just this nice sweep that we have now created in the fringe area. Okay, so now that we've done that, now the reason why I start with the fringe first is because of that really strong cowlick that I have. I try to do it when my hair is a little bit wetter, normally even a little bit wetter than what you saw me start with, but I filmed this makeup look first, so that's kind of the reason why my hair was a little on the drier side. So now we are going to be taking our clip, so you need to have that ready. So what you're going to see me do is from the top of my ears, I am going to push my fingers against my scalp until they're touching in the middle. We're going to let that hair be down there. We're going to take the rest of this and we're going to clip it up. So just clip that out of the way. Now, again, if you need 2 clips, you need 3 clips, you need 4 clips, girl, you do what you need to do, okay? So now we're gonna pick up our blow dryer again. I'm switching to my slightly larger brush. Now I am going to be giving myself a blowout that is smooth, but still has a fair bit of body to it. If I wanted to create just a lot of root volume and much smoother ends, I actually have a brush even bigger than this one. But yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab that first section, starting at the root and working our way outwards. So you can see how the bristles are really smoothing that out for me with the aid. Now, the other thing I'm gonna tell you, if you're noticing that I am pointing the nozzle of my dryer towards the floor or towards the ends of my hair. So the reason why you always want to point it that way is because your cuticle, which is the external layer of your hair, here, let me turn that off. So the cuticle, which is the external layer of your hair, if you're not blowing it closed, which think of it like little scales on a lizard, okay? So if I blow with the way they will lay flatter. If I'm gonna blow against them, it's gonna blow them open. So you're gonna get less shine, you're gonna get more frizz. So these are things that we want to avoid doing, is we always wanna make sure that we're pointing our nozzle in the direction that the cuticle layer of the hair lays, which is usually that way, okay? So always point away from the head and towards the floor or to the ends of your hair. So you can see how that just gave me a little bit of body. I'm going to smooth the ends just a little bit more because I still find them to be a little bit frizzy. As you can tell, I have naturally wavy hair. I don't have like real curl, but I definitely have wave. I tend to pretty much never wear my natural texture because I do find it to be way more work than if I blow my hair out. So there we go. So you can see just nice bit of bounce. Now because I am right-handed, but I blow dry left-handed, I often can create better tension on this side by putting my brush in this way. So that's why you'll see me flip it upward. It's not for the sake of like actually flipping my hair outward. It's just to create tension. And creating tension is truly and honestly how you can create smoothness, especially for those of us who do not have naturally straight hair. Okay, so now that I've got kind of equal bounce on both sides as I eat my hair, sorry, my nose is really itchy today. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our next section down. So I go to basically where my temples are. And again, I did the same thing that I did last time. Put finger at each spot, and then obviously we then push towards the middle of the head to get another section of hair out of the way. So I'm going to show you, oh, that was my blow dryer falling into my sink. Luckily not the floor. So I'm going to basically do a quick little demo of like, if I were to use this brush, what would happen? So you're smaller the brush, the more movement in the hair it's going to create. So it's just one of those things that you need to know kind of like what your tools will do for you and not do for you. So if you're going to blow out with a slightly smaller brush, this is what will happen. So if you notice that when I roll my hair up around the brush, basically what that kind of does, sorry, give me 1 second. Just for the purpose of having this out of the way. Okay, so when you notice that I take a section and wrap it around and heat it up, basically what that kind of does is it just really helps to like give the hair the shape of the brush, almost a bit like a curling one. Okay, so the proper way to do this, so if you've ever had a professional blowout and someone's kind of done this technique, so if you've ever tried it at home and you've gotten your hair caught around the brush, don't yank, okay? Because your hair will get locked around those bristles. What you want to do is, if you notice, as I'm just gradually going down, I'm just twisting it out. So you can see that there's definitely a lot more movement to this particular piece than, now let's do the other side. Now that piece will stay over there because I do a deep part quite often. Okay, so if you notice there's more bend in this one, there's way more like curl. There is movement and like a little bit of something on the ends here, but you can tell the difference. So bigger brush on this side, smaller brush on that side. But obviously to make them match, I am going to smooth out the other side. I'm going to go to the back. So no special instructions. Just try not to take so much hair that you can't handle it. You know, usually about the length of your brush is kind of like what you want to do. So if you notice I'm always lifting upward, it's to try to create as much volume as you can. Okay, so again, another section blown out. again, we're going to take another section down. So I'm going to pull my fringe up now so that it's out of the way. So basically, as you can see, I'm just kind of going through each section, lifting them upwards. I always pull towards the ceiling. It's always, sorry, my nose is just so itchy. I don't know why. Probably because it's wintertime and the air is dry inside. And being that I'm on lockdown and there's a stay-at-home order, I kind of need to stay home the majority of the time. So the air is really dry in here with the heat on. So last, not quite the last section, the second to last section, sorry. So I'm just going to quickly go through. You can observe what I'm doing. I'm not going to give any instructions because I'm not going to be doing anything new. This last area is where I'm going to give you a little bit more instructions. So I'm going to quickly get through this section. So the one instruction I will give you is that I do want the front part of my hair to be away, like turned away from my face. So i.e. why I'm blow drying it backwards. I missed the spot. And you'll do that too. You'll miss spots. Just pick them back up, smooth them back out. No biggie. Here isn't smoothing out, so we gotta get back up there. There we go. Okay, so the last section, you can see I'm dividing it in half. And I put my clip there to keep that out of the way. So now we are going to be smoothing out this really top piece. Again, lifting straight up. Now the one thing, just hold your brush there just to not exhaust your arm too badly. And just kind of move your blow dryer as you're noticing. See how I'm going up and down? It's so that I'm not burning my head. Now I'm kind of like heating the brush, the hair around the brush. Give it a second. And again, just release. Now we're going to pick up that last section before the fringe area. You can get out of there. Okay. So again, put the brush in at the root. Now this is the area where I will take my brush back and forth. So again, going towards my face, then away from my face, but primarily focusing the direction backwards because that's the shape I'm trying to create. Now just to kind of merge my fringe area and that last section together, I'm going to wrap them around my brush and warm them up so that they kind of fuse together a little bit better. And then again, pull away from the face. And there we go. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Now this is the side where my palette definitely picks up a lot more, so don't mind me while I heat that up to like get it to sit down a bit better. And then away from the face. And there we go. Now you can finish this off with a serum, a texture spray. For those of you who might even have like a super oily scalp, you may want to, you know, put a little dry shampoo, even right after you've blown out your hair. Sorry, my hair is sitting a little too wide. There we go. So if you find that your hair is super, super oily, what you may want to do is actually take your favorite dry shampoo, and like you would on a day where your roots need a bit of refreshing, just go in and spray those areas that you definitely find get the most oily. It's even though it's technically a refreshing product, you can definitely use it even as a finishing. It can actually create a bit of texture into the hair. Also for those who might have a little bit on the finer hair side, which definitely isn't kind of where my hair lives. I'm been very blessed with the hair genetics that I was given at birth. Lots of things on this body, ladies and gentlemen, that I can complain about. What sits on top of the head is definitely nowhere on the list. I've always really liked my hair. So if you need to kind of like zhuzh up the volume a little bit and you don't have a volumizing spray like those ones that you see people puffing or tapping into the root, use your favorite dry shampoo. It'll definitely work. Oh my goodness. Sorry. My Chihuahua is whining at me. She wants to come and say hello. So this is Sugar, no Choopy, otherwise known as Choopy. That's one of her many nicknames. She is a Chihuahua that we adopted 2 years ago. We believe she's, I think, about 6, and she's my shadow. She's been enjoying Mommy being home over the lockdown, that's for sure, because she's Velcro dog. She is stuck to me 24/7. So anyway, so to like, if you don't have like a powder product to finish the hair to give a little bit more root volume, you can definitely use your dry shampoo to help you to do that. Texture sprays, a little finishing oil. One of my favorite finishing products, because my hair is so blonde, is the Olaplex number 7. It does offer hydration and bond building. So that would be a product that I would tend to lean towards finishing my ends. A little hard to do with Sugar in my arms. But here is the finished result. Sorry. Get the dog out of the shot. So, you know, this is the end result of my blowout. Just to give you a few instructions on how to do that. If you started with your hair being in a far wetter state than mine was, you would definitely want to do what we call power drying, which is just basically taking your blow dryer and blowing it through the hair while the hair is not clipped up until you get the excess water out. Before you do that, towel dry well, apply your favorite styling product. I personally, now I keep my bottle upside down just so it stays, I use the Olaplex number 6. The reason why I use a lot of Olaplex products, obviously, you can see how blonde I am. And I'm not this blonde naturally, as you can tell by a bit of the depth at my root. So I tend to use those just for bond building and to protect my hair from further damage from me being blonde. So there we have it, my friends. A little blow dry instructional video for you. Leave it down in the comments, anything else you may want to see from me in terms of instructional tutorials, or if you just want to see like my makeup collection or my skincare collection, which being again that I work at Sephora, it is definitely a happy craziness, I would have to say. So have yourself a great day. Please do subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so that you receive notifications on when I post. I am trying to homeschool my son while we're on lockdown and get some video recorded, as well as do some cleaning projects around the house while my husband is still working. So please do subscribe, hit the bell, it'll notify you whenever I post. Again, leave it down in the comments any other things that you may want to see from me, and have yourself a great day. Oh, and hit the thumbs up so people know that you liked my video. Have yourself a great day, friends. Sugar and I say bye.